What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. Why they create black villains, and this is everybody in America, even outside of America. You need somebody to blame for your own negative behavior, dysfunction. So this comes because I was watching the crack documentary on Netflix. This comes because I was watching the reviews of American Skin on YouTube. This comes from the earlier incident where the young man killed his mother, but he's black now. But if he was an honor roll student, he would be African. This comes from that. This comes from the Chad Wheeler situation, where when you look up, NFL player beats up girlfriend, they say 2021 in one Google search, and then they say girlfriend another, and then you have a bunch of brothers in mug shots. And all of these mug shots wasn't actually domestic violence. It was just you needed to create the illusion of domestic violence. So here's the issue. You come to find out that people do a lot more criminal activities boldly, brazenly, and bravely, and with no regard for getting caught or even getting put in jail for a significant time, i.e. the Capitol riots. Thus, even now, current President Biden, if that was Black Lives Matter, it'd be different. Well, rule number one, black men have been vilified in this country because of slavery, because of the method it took to keep black men from revenge. And even though revenge was done in the past because that was marginalized, like revenge has become villainous. So this idea of white guilt and the fear of black men, like Public Enemy, the fear of a black planet, the fear of black men doing to America what America has done to it, has created this vacuum of illogical alternate reality where people need to make a black villain where one doesn't exist to justify their behavior. Thus, what I'm talking about with the American Skin Review, because you can tell that they were using black people. There were some black people reviewing it, and then all of a sudden, still bringing up Nate Parker's quote unquote past when he got acquitted for something that he didn't do. But you didn't. And this was black people who were doing it, who still is bringing this up as if it was actually something that really truly happened, because you need to make a black villain, and that's why black men need to be the villain, because you can't take even a good movie and review a movie properly because you need to make a villain out of the guy. And even when they have some brothers doing it, they're so, it seems like, now it's make believe, so you can't, it's not realistic enough, but it's a movie. But if you villainize the guy making the movie and you villainize the plot of the movie, it's another thing. The other thing, even with the crack documentary, you villainize the seller, you villainize the user, and now all of a sudden, 30, 40 years later, these people need help when they're white people on opioids. And when and back then, when they were on crack, they weren't locking up white people for crack. You can look in the documentary. We already knew that, though. The government can be in the drug business, no problem. But the villain of the story is actually the black guy, not the people making it, not the people bringing it, not the people profiting off of it, but the black guy. So you needed to create a villain. Thus, this, like when I brought up the Chad Wheeler story, thus this constant phobia of the possibility of something happening. You notice through this whole process how long it's taken for the George Floyd case? You notice that? Same city where the African cop, the Ethiopian cop, shot the white lady from Austria. He in jail, been in jail. See how the law works? But you make it something black, it becomes a villain. Now, the reasons I bring this up is because we're viewed differently, we're viewed in a different reality. Thus, you see the people, i.e., Kevin Samuels, and people attacking and people feel like he's mean for his actual logical response to certain things and giving people a new perspective. I.e., you see black men attacking black men online, right? And going over the top because if you talk about somebody white, I gotta come out full force for you. See, black men gotta be the villain because if we're not the villain, you have to take a good look in the mirror, even if you're black. And even if you're a black man, you got to take a good look in the mirror because you need to make somebody a villain so you can be as dastardly and ignore your own dastardly behavior and devilish ways because you're doing it because the mythical black villains will arise and we can't let that happen, so I gotta be more devilish than the devil I've imagined. It's really ridiculous, but that's what it is to me. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.